All right, the informant back in the building. So today we talking about the legendary singer Angie Stone, who passed away earlier this year, March 1st, 2025.
R&B singer Angie Stone has died in a car crash. We're told she had just finished a concert in Mobile, Alabama Friday, was heading to Atlanta when the van she was riding in crashed.
Ironically, a couple months after she came out on Instagram Live saying that she audited her record label, Universal Music, and saw that Universal Music owed her a lot of money. Basically enough money that she said she was supposed to be retired 20 years ago. Meaning that there's no way she should still be going around doing performances just to make ends meet, right?
After 40-something years in the business, I'm like, well, why? Where are my royalties going? Because I'm not getting this. Come to find out, Universal Music has been receiving all my royalties, all my mechanicals. They've taken pretty much everything.
Now, Angie Stone has been in the game for a minute now. So she supposed to know better that when she come after these big labels, she's not coming after a small label that's a subsidiary of another label. She's coming off after a label that is one of the major players in the industry. So when she did that, Angie Stone is supposed to know from all the past artists before her that passed away after saying that this record label owes her money and that record label owes her money. For example, like Prince and Michael Jackson, especially Michael Jackson. Because once Michael Jackson started owning catalogs of major artists like the Beatles and so many more,
Michael owned 50% of Sony.
He ended up passing away. And I think Michael Jackson knew that he was going to pass away because he was going up against powers that was above his reach. And I'm just saying that Angie Stone was supposed to know better. If you're going to make these claims, you got to make sure you're not doing any type of traveling. You're not getting booked to go this place or that place. Because when you're moving around, that's the perfect time for the label or whoever that wants to do something to you. That's a window that they have to get to you. It might be the driver. Somebody around you might be compromised. The person that booked you might be compromised. I think she even said something that she was booked somewhere. And as she was performing, or she was about to perform, but she was running late. And a chandelier, big chandelier, fell down right in the spot that she was supposed to be standing at and performing at. So that lets you know, when you start making certain statements and accusations against certain people in power, you got to make sure you could go hide. You ain't got to go to a booking. You don't have no booking set up. You nowhere. Like it's like a movie, honestly. Whenever you make these claims, Angie Stone was supposed to know. Don't travel. Don't move around. Have everything that you need for the next year. Financially, food, whatever. Because those powers to be, they're not really playing. And Angie Stone sadly found that out. She said she was even in the doctor's office and she had like a blood infection randomly. Right? So just like Michael Jackson isolated himself and they still was able to infiltrate and get him out of here. What they did, they sent a doctor in there that gave Michael his last prescription. And that's so sad to say because you can't really trust nobody when you playing with billion-dollar companies. Because we know our weakness in this physical world is financial gain, bruh. So I don't know why Angie Stone would make these claims and still move around talking about she going to do a concert and all this other stuff. And not for nothing, She was the only one that died in that car accident. How is that possible? So, this is just speculation. Maybe that same infection that got into her blood was the thing that actually took her out and not actually the car accident. Because how are you in a van, a Sprinter van, and be the only one that passed away? Clearly, there was something else going on with her at the time. And it ain't nothing to get those paperworks to say the cause of her demise. You know what I mean? So it's just weird. And Angie Stone should have known better. She definitely should have known better. And I don't think going on Instagram Live was the best way to deliver that type of message at all. Because now the people that owes you these things, they got a heads up now. They're like, yo, all right, yo, it's time to get rid of her. We got to call up our top hitters. We going to put something together real nice. Like the movie Wag the Dog. The movie Wag the Dog is about, they have professional people that could write storylines. Real storylines that could destroy someone real life. So even though these people just write storylines, it's really for a real reason. Get you up out of here and make it look like it was an accident. And in her case, clearly, her Sprinter van flipped over. Angie Stone was the only one that passed away. And clearly she didn't have anyone around her that had discernment to let her know, like, yo, okay, if you're going to make these statements, Angie, you can't move around. You can't go to no bookings. Don't do no shows. Because it's too easy. When so much is going on, you don't know who's coming at you. You don't know who is an agent in the Matrix. And that's my take on that. Angie Stone should have known better. The Informant, I'm out.
Angie Stone did a live where she said her parent company owed her royalties that they had not paid her. She said they owed her multiple millions of dollars. And she said she was going to get her money and expose the label. I'm going to get my money and I'm going to expose the label. And then that was in December 2024. February 28th, Art Black History Month, final day. She's performing in Alabama. March the 1st, she's driving with her entourage to the next destination. And all of a sudden, they get into an accident. And the media reports that Angie Stone dies in a car accident. And she's the only member of her entourage who dies in the car accident.